start off, name,
Seth Lynch.
and what do you do for a living, Seth?
I work in a sawmill at Lehman's Lumber, but on the side, I chase severe weather from National Weather Service. I send in reports, call in reports to news stations and 911, help get them out to where there could be damage, possible injuries.
So what made you start that hobby?
When I was younger, I loved helping others,
Yeah.
and then obviously Twister came out. I already had a love for severe weather, tornadoes, hurricanes, all that stuff, and I was like, that's really cool. And then when I learned it was like a real life thing that people actually go out and they chase these dangerous storms, I'm like,
Yep.
I want to do that. I don't want to go to college. I don't want to. Just live a normal life. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And, it turns out that I actually got made fun of for it because it became an obsession.
Really?
And then back in 2011, I still messed with weather model stuff, and they were forecasting severe weather for the Carlisle area, and that's when the tornado touched down. And that morning I went to school. I was trying to tell everyone, there's going to be tornadoes in the area. Of course, typical, made fun of, stuff like that. And then about 5 or 4 o'clock, a supercell developed. South Mason-Dixon line came up through the area. It put down EF1 tornado. It was very brief. It did some tree damage. Didn't really hit any homes, which was the good part. And then I had all these people calling me, going, I don't know what to do. So I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to, get a hold of National Weather Service, stuff like that, because I was chasing it on my bicycle because I didn't have a car. I was still in high school.
And so that was the first storm that you ever.
Yeah, that was probably my first official tornado, but I was walking and chasing wherever I wanted to get, mainly just walking anywhere from Carlisle to Bowling Springs just to take a couple pictures on a little slide phone,
So you said that you were attending Carlisle High School at this point.
No, I was attending Bowling Springs.
Bowling Springs. I'm sorry. So did you grow up in South Middleton, or?
Yes and no, because Mount Holly's divided really weirdly.
Yep.
So, I went to Carlisle till halfway through my 7th grade year, and
Okay.
then I went to Bowling Springs.
Does Carlisle, Mount Holly Springs, South Middleton, do we get a lot of big storms like that, or?
Tornado-wise, no.
No.
But, there's the National Weather Service posted a really interesting article about 2 months ago. I was reading over it. Our county alone in the last 50 years has had 14 tornadoes. So that, for PA, that's pretty high, But of course, York and Lancaster, because they're down in the Chesapeake Bay, and so they have a lot more, the storms can access more energy and stuff coming off the ocean, and it's nothing like you get out in Oklahoma, but that's where the majority of tornadoes do happen.
Okay. Now, are tornadoes so we've had 14 in the county, so I'm guessing there haven't been that many since 2011 either. Is that the biggest thing that you chase, or do you also go after other?
When Irene and Sandy came through the air, I was on that too.
And so what does that involve?
Hurricanes, they're different. It's not like tornado where, they can range from a couple minutes to recently the one out in Kansas lasted for over 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Hurricanes, they span thousands of miles. It takes them a while to die off. So they're very tricky. And in all honesty, I don't feel too comfortable chasing them. One, because you can escape a tornado.
Yeah.
When a hurricane comes ashore, when you're in it, you're in it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And in all honesty, they kind of provide more of a hazard because you're going to get the flooding on top of the wind damage. You got to watch the trees and the power lines, and then you got people who are going to be trying to drive through all these flooded roads, and they get stuck.
So in addition to, could you just go through sort of the process of chasing a storm? like, do you document it, or are you just calling into the National Weather Service?
I document it. My fiance goes out with me. Normally, always checking the SPC website for the outlooks.
And what is that?
Storm Protection Center has a website that you can access, and it'll tell you outlooks. There's different registers: general thunderstorm, marginal, slight, enhanced, moderate, and then high risk. I never choose high risk. I have a lot of friends that have. We've had moderate risk, and they've always been pretty good. I document the storms too. Like, I'm always taking pictures, video, whatever I can get my hands on.
Now, do you have a website, or do you send these into services?
I use Twitter and Facebook a lot. I'll post some on Instagram, but Facebook's the biggest one. Twitter, I use that to talk to like Dan Tomaso and Eric Finkenbeiner and all those guys over at 27 News.
What do you say the reception is for some of these posts? Like, how are people in the community? Are they reacting this is crazy, or?
Yeah, with Facebook, they recently updated where you can do like little live streams. So I did that. It was either Monday or Tuesday when we had a storm come through, and there was a nice shelf cloud, and people were watching it. They were asking questions. They were liking it. I've got over 100 photos to Facebook. They all get likes. People share them. I think it's a pretty positive impact, because it's like I get to see stuff that a lot of people don't really see or know what they're looking at.
Well, we're all hiding in our homes.
Yeah, and that's the thing with storm chasing. I'm like, tornadoes, they can be beautiful, but they can also be a force of nature that will level your house and potentially kill you.
Yeah. What? Pretty much any weather. So, do you mind if we just talk a little bit about the Carlisle, or or did I miss anything on the storm chasing there?
Yeah, no, that's fine. We can talk about Carlisle.
Or, I mean, sort of the area.
No, not really.
What? So, where did you actually grow up? You said
Mount Holly.
Mount Holly. What do you think of Mount Holly in terms of?
It's boring.
Is it?
It's a very small town, but a lot of people there are friendly, so it's a nice place to grow up.
Is there anything in Mount Holly or sort of wider that you always like? Is there a certain place that you like to go to, or?
Any open field, really.
Yeah.
Fields, they're really good for photos. You get a clear shot. You always want to have a clear slot view of the storm.
Okay. What about just for other types of recreation or downtime?
I don't really do much recreational downtime. I like to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay.
Of all things.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of like my kickback, relax time. Or me and my fiance will watch Vampire Diaries, or something random on Netflix.
Yeah, that's how I spend my time too. So you said you worked at, I can't remember the exact name, but you said you worked at a sawmill.
Yeah, Lehman's Lumber.
Well, what do you do there?
I'm a lumber grader. So basically what happens is we get the logs in, we debark them, and then we cut the board straight off the log. And then there's different kinds of grade. So there's either FAS, which is top notch. Then there's like the flooring stuff that gets, the boards get turned into stuff. And then there's just pallet.
Now where's where is it located?
It's right here in Carlisle on Shagbark Lane.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that? Too long? Or?
No, I don't even know if it's even been 3 years. Okay. But I love it, My boss, they're all great. All my coworkers are great.
Yeah.
It's like 5 of us that work there.
Okay.
But it's fun.
What do they think of some of the stories from your storm chasing?
They all think I'm crazy.
Do they?
They've already told me I'm crazy.
No one's volunteered to go out with you or asked to go out?
But I took a couple people out last year that wanted to come. I'll take it.
Friends or?
Friends. I'll take anyone out. Like, Rancher Andrew messaged me on Facebook, hey, I want to come along. I'll be like, whatever, Because if they want to see it, they want to see it. But I also stress, you got to go by with what I say.
Yeah.
If I say it's time to get in the car, you got to get in the car. Because things can go south real quick.
Yeah.
It's like back in 2013 when Yeah, Reno tornado happened. Tim Samaras, Paul Samaras, Carl Young all lost their life because the tornado took that sharp left turn or right turn, and it threw them, and it killed all three of them.
So yeah, so it's probably a good thing you're no longer chasing storms on a bike then.
Yeah.
All right. What is there any storm in particular that you really remember aside from that first one, or?
Yeah, actually, it was right after I started Lemmy's Lumber. I broke my foot, and my mom was she was taking me to the appointment for my foot so I can have it looked at and stuff. And we were outside Mechanicsburg, and when a supercell thunderstorm explodes, it's got this huge tower, and then when it hits, my fiance actually called me, and it spreads out into an anvil. And I saw that feature, and it had a corkscrew feature, which is really rare to see in Pennsylvania alone. And I looked at her, I said, "Mom, that's going to go tornado warning." She's like, "How do you know?" Then literally, I kid you not, 30 seconds later, Wink 104 came on and said that tornado warning had been issued for Cumberland. And then they were like, areas affected will be Mechanicsburg, New King. I'm like, no. Because it was taking a straight dive south. So it was going to affect Carlisle, it was going to affect Mount Holly, if maybe Bowling Springs is what the tornado would affect. So I called them. I called 27 News and said, these radio stations calling out the wrong names. Here's what's going on. So they came back on air and said, Mount Holly and all that other stuff.
So these places that they know you and they trust you.
Yeah, and my autistic brother was actually home alone, so we actually turned the car around. Yeah. And of course, I had them go in the basement, and then I limped my way out the door, and I started photographing, and it produced a very brief funnel.
Okay.
Literally right behind my mom's house. So that was pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think, while I have you here, so one of the things that we're trying to do today is trying to figure out sort of community and whatnot. Is there anything in the community that you value or that you fear losing? You said you really like open fields. I know that's
the biggest fear with community is probably the way some of the people think, because it's different from Oklahoma and Texas and Kansas, where if tornado warning's issued, they know, go to the basement, stuff like that. Yeah. Whereas here in PA, it's like, we have mountains, we have this, we have that. It's not going to touch down. And then when it happens, no one knows what to do. Everyone panics. And I think the community really needs to sit down and think. They need to have a plan. They need to know where to go. They need to have some way to get in contact with their loved ones if something happens. And anytime tornado warning's taken serious or comes up, it needs to be taken seriously, whether if it's radar indicator rotation or if there's one actually on the ground. Yeah. Because anytime they issue a tornado warning, the rotation is strong enough that a tornado is more likely intimate.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I wonder if there's a way to sort of combine that with, because I think we get more hurricanes than, if there's a way just to, like extreme weather, safety awareness or something.
It all just comes down to just knowing what you gotta do, and just using common sense. Obviously, you live in a mobile home, you need to leave. Yep. I've had people call me going, oh my God, I live in a mobile home, and I call them back, and I'm like, go south, or go, just get in the truck, go somewhere. I don't care, just get away from the storm. Yeah. Not great enough and touched down, but they were lucky because they would have stayed in a mobile home. They probably would have gotten killed if one would have touched down.
Yeah. Well, as I said, is there anything else that you want to mention or you can think of?
No, that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thanks.
It's been a pleasure.
You too.